Hello guys on YouTube, how are you guys today? Well, I am doing pretty good myself here guys. Today we're going to be looking at this FM transmittal for your iPods, by the way, for the 30 dock older iPods. It has the 30 pin connection on the back. This will not work for the 5th generation iPod, but I had this for a very long time, and it really seems to work okay, but it doesn't work as good like it used to when I bought it brand new. But this is actual, if you guys can notice, this is actually designed for a call. But what's really unique about this unit itself is that you don't have to put it in your car. You can actually use it here at home in your house if you want. But it is typically meant for a call, meant for traveling and stuff. But yes, you need a receiver to actually pick up the signal from this. By the way, you gotta make sure you do not have a station is playing any other type of music in the background when you're all using this transmittal. But it's a very small little device. You got the transmittal and you got the remote itself. But this is a 2008 product here, guys. Years ago here, guys. Very old style unit, but it seems to work very neat. And there's all the regulations and everything else to safety and stuff. But the reason why I bought this, I bought it to use it for FM radios. But what's really unique about this little transmittal, it actually can charge your iPod by using your original 30-pin dock charger. But yeah, this is just the box. If you guys want to take a look at it here. It's very nicely designed, very nicely packaged, and it does come in, with instructions. And it tells you all sorts of different things on what the unit is compatible with. By the way, I bought it for my iPod Nano, the 3rd generation, by the way. It was to support up to all these different older style iPods, but not the newer ones. But it is a very solid built unit. But it was also a very expensive unit at the time when I got it. This was like a $30 unit itself for this little guy here. But it seems to work just fine. But yes, you can use a call radio, you can use your home radios, anything that has a FM receiver built into it with this transmittal, it will work. But again, make sure you do not play music in the background when you're all using this device. Here's the name. It is by a very cool company. It's very nicely built and nicely designed. Now let's go ahead and take this little guy out of its packaging. Now, I do not use this every single day here, guys. You know, this little FM transmitter. I don't use it every day because I got some new stuff I can actually use for my radio. Now, let's put this off to the side here. We're going to get the instructions. This actually has instructions inside the box itself. But it was very nicely packaged. I really love hanging on to older stuff like this. But yes, here's the manual. You know, how to get started and stuff. And by the way, if you do have a cable or antenna TV, this will affect the antenna TVs, but not the cable antenna itself. Now, I'll take a look more about this little book here on what it can recommend you use. But yeah, it is a very nicely laid out. It's a very nicely designed unit. This can actually charge your iPod and your car or wherever you want to plug this little unit. Now, I tested it out and I tuned it to all the right type of stations it needs to be properly tuned to. But this is a very low end powered system. It can get very staticky over time. because of how short the wavelengths are from the antenna to the receiver itself. But this is a very nicely book here if you want to actually read the book. Thus, if you have one of these little transmittal things here, guys, I would recommend reading the book first before you actually get into learning about one of these transmittals. Now, these transmittals is not that difficult to use. It's a very simple device, very simple and easy to use here. Now, the biggest problem with this little device here, you guys can see the transmitters on this side and the remotes on that side. I'd recommend getting a different type of transmitter. It has the digital display and everything built into one. This one does not. This is actually two separate units. And you don't want to lose this remote, and you don't want to lose the transmitter itself. But again, it does have this very unique remote carrying holder here. This goes on your steering wheel, and it puts your remote in there, and you have this pretty nifty Velcro to strap it to the steering wheel itself. But here is the transmitter, and let's go ahead and pop out the remote. I'm knocking it over here. Holy. But this is kind of cool. It's very interesting. Now, yeah, some things are can be quite stubborn to get out of this plastic shell of a box. But this is all what you really need the most is the transmitter and the remote. But if you was in your own car, I recommend using the Velcro and the little camouflage thing that holds the remote in it. Now, you guys can see, let's take a look at this transmitter here. This is just the transmitter itself. You guys can see it is only for the older style iPods, the 30-pin connector. And look at that, that actually has the charging port right on the bottom to actually charge your iPod when you are on the go. And this is just a tiny remote. You guys can see very, very small. It does have skip back, skip forward, play, pause, volume up and down, and also the selector for your different tuning and also brightness. Now, what do I have this to tune to? I have it tuned to 100.3. That's the station now. Again, you can't really see that because the battery in this is actually going dead. But we're going to go ahead and now test it out and see if this thing actually performs like it used to. Now, remember, this is not going to be very good for all sorts of different units. This will only support on different iPods. We're going to go ahead and we're going to take it over here to my receiver, and I actually have everything tuned the right way it needs to be tuned. Now we need the older style iPod Touch. That's what we need to for the 30-pin connection to actually work. Now, if you have a home dock or anything, it will not work on the home dock. It will only connect to the iPod itself. And yes, you're going to need a receiver to be able to test this little guy out. Now, this is just, again, a very, very low power transmitter. And like I said, this thing really used to work very good, but now it doesn't work that good anymore because of how small the antenna is in this thing. The antenna just wraps around this whole entire plastic piece here, but it picks up okay, but it doesn't really work that good. Now make sure you tune your radio and also tune your remote to be able to get the signal. Now we got to plug this little adapter into the bottom of my unit, or the bottom of the iPod. Why? Is that's where it's connected to the most. And you guys can see here is the needle. It tells you I'm like in the 2 and 3 range. Now what happens if I pick it up? It will start to move. When I start to move it around, the needle will start to go down. Now if I put it all the way up, I can get 5 balls because I got close to the antenna. Now let's go ahead and actually turn this up a little bit and show you this actual somewhat does work and somewhat doesn't work. Okay guys, now I can walk around my room and walk around the house and stuff, and this thing is just not really good. You guys can see there's a little bit of static though. I'm covering the unit with my hand, kind of stacky. But this is a good device if you want to be able to listen to your tunes by using FM only, not without the on functions of the device itself. But this works somewhat. I know you guys can hear that, but it seems to work pretty dang good for what it normally does. But it seems to play nicely. I'm really impressed with it. But let's go and turn that down just a smidge. And I can actually walk around, and it's not as staticky like I was hoping it to be, but it can get very, very staticky when you actually have all stations being played at the same time. You gotta make sure you do not have a station that's playing music for this transmitter to work. Now, this transmitter it's just a very small basic unit, guys. You guys can see that's how small it is, and it's just a low-powered unit itself. I really like it. I think it's a nice little device to be able to use for your call and also for your home radios. But again, don't always count on it, guys, because it's not very reliable and not very good of how it's actually designed. Now, in certain places of my house, this will work and it will not work in certain areas of the house because of instructions of like walls and everything like that. But you gotta be near the system. But if I actually take the Ipod and I slowly move it away from the system and I put it over here, I know you guys can hear that. It's a little bit of static in the background. You guys can hear. See, I took the Ipod and I put it on the outside of my room. But I recommend leave this closer to your stereo itself, for you don't get so much of that static build up. But yeah, like I said, it doesn't work like it used to anymore, guys. But it works pretty good. I really do love the way it sounds, and I love the way it plays music. But not very good if you want to travel or anything. That's just the way it's designed. But alright guys, this is somewhat my overview of this older style unit I bought years ago. This little FM transmitter. But if you guys are very new to this channel, please hit that subscribe button. Or leave a comment down below because I want your feedback. If you want to know more about this little device and where I got it, please give it a thumbs up. Please share. Peace out. Bye guys. We'll hopefully see you in the next vlog.